on stage at all. We don't know each other at all. Yo, what up, though? This is Reyes Poetry, and I'm here at the Hollywood Casino at Greektown on the 28th floor at the Culture Suite, and I'm here with some of my good friends and co-hosts.
Allegedly Josh Shakoy.
Xavier, go by Barely Hispanic on the internet.
Hey, and we're here with one of our good friends and brothers, and one of the dopest creatives in the country, Curtis Roach.
That's proven.
Hey, Curtis Roach. The resume,
Air horn.
all of them.
All
You
of
can
them.
just talk to us. The resume is deep. I first found out about Curtis Roach. I first found out about Curtis Roach from an article, and everybody's telling me, you got to meet this kid. You got to meet this kid. And as we started forming Culture Creators, I think it was maybe Damasio that brought you around, or like that group of Awkward Theory, and then we connected. So, yo, tell us about your work, Kurt. What are you working on? What is inspiring you currently as a creative? Because today's conversation is about creative energy, what we're doing in the city. So what's got you kind of moving creatively?
First off, thank you for having me. This is a beautiful view.
Hey.
Don't talk into it. Is it on? Oh.
Gotcha,
Sound
homie.
is cut from there.
Hello.
3, 2, boom.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Oh man.
So glad to have you.
Yeah.
We're so glad to have you here.
Yeah. Great view. This is beautiful. I've never seen Detroit from this angle. This is great. But what's inspiring me is beats, rhymes, and life, man. I truly love hip hop. So that's just been my driving force musically, and just showing gratitude every day, trying to be as artsy as I can in any way possible. And just trying to be my best self in the booth and outside of the booth, like in life, So, yeah.
Tell us about, because this is one of the things we've been talking about. I think Detroit is known right now, right, for the street sound. A lot of that is resonating like internationally, nationally. Mm-hmm. But there's this other pocket in Detroit that, is just as relevant, right, that comes out of like Dilla, Slum Village. Yeah. And I feel like, not to like compare your music, but I think it does fit into that pocket that's like a different Detroit that is just as black, just as culturally relevant, but doesn't get as much light in the moment, right? So tell us about like that. Like, where did you draw, because your sound, right, is very unique. So where did you draw your inspiration from around you musically?
Yeah, I feel like that music spoke to me at an early age, you know what I'm saying? I was very inspired by Slum Village, Tribe Called Quest, and, even though I was born in 99, like that, the very early hip-hop stuff just intrigued me as a kid. My parents exposed me to all that stuff, even like stuff before rap, like just the funk and soul of the 70s and the 60s, and my family's very musical, so having that all around me kind of just like, it was like a magnet. And I also am not a street dude, so, and I like accepted that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely, being in Detroit, you know what I'm saying, you see it, but like, it just wasn't for me, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay, because like, that's for them, you know what I'm saying? And they do it well, you know what I'm saying? I can definitely tap into it, which is super weird when I do it.
I know. I
So
heard
weird.
a grimy Curtis Roach song the first time when we were
Yeah.
in Europe, and I was like, "What the fuck?" It was crazy. It sounded great, but it was just so not the stuff I'm used to.
Yeah, it's almost like
go musician, bro.
Yeah, but it's great, and you
Yeah.
should low key like just be a street nigga for a day, one day.
I mean, I hear it all the time. There's people that be like, "Bro, just do it, bro. Just
Just
have
lie.
a whole EP of like shooting
What would
people
you do?
in the face."
Yeah, no, like you should write from a perspective of like, what would you do?
GTA,
Right.
GTA
Yeah.
roleplay.
And what's crazy is like, I mean, like I come off, I'm very happy and stuff. Like I come off as very positive, and I am a optimistic guy, but like I do have like the rage in me, just like everybody. It's like so human and stuff. So I think that's when I do have those moments where I'm just
you
like
have
having
a Rico
fun.
nasty smack a bitch moment.
Right. Yeah. Like I would definitely consider it, but that overall, like that's why that sound has been like I got Tribe tatted on me. I always got to point that out because it's just like that's what I really. That's like if you cut me, that's what's gonna come out. It's like the Wu-Tang, the Prodigies, and the Mobb Deep, all that stuff. Like it's just hip hop to me,
Yeah,
and
you're
I
a
think
hip-
I can.
So
Hippie
like for
hop.
me, that's like my
Yeah.
era, right? That was
Yes.
my teenage years. So like, how is
Yeah.
it as someone discovering it? Like I always wonder. Like I have a younger brother that's like 15 years younger than me. So I always like would like be like, well, how does like Tupac sound to you, right? Because to me,
Yeah.
it sounds like in my head still current, right? Because it was current for me.
Yeah.
Does it sound dated? Does it sound old? So like for you, like what? Like I know you got your parents, but then you still got to go dig and find that music.
Yeah. I mean, like, so like I was a 106 and Park kind of kid.
Okay.
So it was like I was super hip to like the crunk movement of Lil Jon and stuff like that, and 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, and Kanye, and all that stuff like that. But then like having my big cousin Jay Squared, his iPod had like MF Doom and stuff like that
Yeah.
on it, and like just I think it was the samples that really like had me hooked at first, because I was just like, whoa, what is all these jazzy sounds coming at me? And the fact that the drums were hitting the frequencies so nice, it was just like, because those frequencies are like very high frequencies, I think like
Yeah.
it's more so just like it brings a positive vibe out of
Yeah.
you. Whereas like the 808s are very low end, and it's like you want to just like go to the club and drink and stuff like that.
Curtis Roach popping bottles?
Yeah, like, but I think it was just those frequencies and those drums and like the samples that like feel so warm and like positive. I'm like, wow, this is like happy music. Bonita Applebaum was like, I felt like I was in a waterfall when I first heard that. So I was like, whoa. So it made me just want to dig more into that stuff. And through that, I just found more and more stuff. And it's like, there's people sometimes make fun of that, like the early rap stuff, but I feel like there's also a lot of great stuff in that stuff too. So
When you say early, like what era are you thinking? Like what is early for someone your age?
Okay. So like I am really a hip hop head, so like I can like reference some like 70s shit, but the real originators of like what the modern hip hop became is I feel like is Run DMC.
Okay.
And so when they were like sucking MC should have no plan. But there was some fucking bars, and still to this day there's people that reference those people. They might use like a line, and it's still like prevalent to this day. So it's like I'm just a person that like I was a student first before I even got into the game, just because I felt like that was what you needed to do. You know what I'm saying? And
it's interesting too, because I mean I think obviously like all music is like compounding. Like I think it all builds on itself, but like rap and hip hop in particular are so referential. You know, like there's constantly like drawing back on like again like fucking disco drum breaks, and then like you sample a thing 100 times and you end up with what you have now, and then to be you kind of like hit the jackpot like of the rap timeline because you had the internet and you could just listen to everything. You could just
Google some shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you weren't limited to like what was out or
Or if you could find the record
right,
somewhere,
or you could
somebody
find
gave
some,
you the mixtape.
Yeah, I mean that had to be sick, just being
Or
able
waiting
to like
for like things
Google
to
everything.
release.
Yeah.
Like,
oh
like
my God.
you.
Yes, no, like I think the fact that the internet was at my fingertips at all times, and then once I was like skateboarding in middle school and all that stuff like that, and just like finding stuff on my own, like there was people like Joey Badass that was coming out, and they were like 16 at the time, and they were just like rapping over old school stuff, and I was like, oh, that's cool too, and making it modernized, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like, at first it was like a whack thing to like emulate it or something like that, or I don't know, but and not to say that's not like all my music like that, but it's just like that was like my foundation. So I was like, oh, sick, and it made me a better lyricist because like I feel like to me the lyrics come first, And if I wanted to dumb it down, then I can have that ability to do that.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I feel like you just gotta be a good rapper to participate. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but yeah, like thank whoever for the internet. I don't know.
Al Gore.
Yeah,
Al
Al
Gore.
Gore.
Yeah, that's true, bro.
Thank
yeah,
you, Al Gore.
yeah.
Or Beyonce.
Or Beyonce, and the United States military.
Soldier Boy.
So
Soulja
like
Boy.
when you traveled around,
You know.
when you travel around, like you've been overseas. We've been overseas together multiple times. Like, how do you feel for you as an artist? How are you received? Your music.
It's like, oh man, I guess like in Detroit and other places, sometimes like if I get recognized, I always kind of like flinch up to like, what do you know me from? Because now I got like the influencer thing that
Yeah.
I accidentally fell into. I definitely I was making funny videos and stuff like that, but I didn't have an intention to be an influencer. So
Yeah.
Just
there's
funny.
there's some times before all this stuff on the internet blew up and stuff, it was like just people from Southwest and just the community here that would recognize me just for the the shit that I was putting out, the mixtapes and stuff. More so highly caffeinated was like when shit popped off.
Yeah.
But now it's like some people just know me as Bored in the House or something like that, and they're just like, whoa, you're the guy, and so
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. So then it's like I gotta like reintroduce myself, which is cool, but yeah, that's like I forgot what we were
your
talking
your catalog. It's all good, bro. Listen, we're on the 28th floor with this view. It's fine.
about. I know.
We don't even got drink champs going. We don't even got liquor here yet, so it's too early.
Yeah,
But
next season.
the next show we'll do it in the evening, so it's more acceptable.
Yeah.
So like for me, like what you said, what you're recognized for. How has that? Because to me, your catalog is so much more than just an influencer, right?
Yeah.
So that to me, like, tell us a little bit about that struggle. Because I think we were talking about this with some of the other artists. The internet, just projects you in a certain way.
Yeah.
And obviously, we as creatives, we're trying to make a living, and we're doing all these things. We make our decisions on how we put our work out. But how has it been of like that influencer, Bored in the House kind of view? But you're this other incredible artist.
Yeah.
Like, how was that tension for you? Like,
I mean, it was like, at first it was just like very overwhelming. I had to like kind of have like a bunch of breakthroughs in my own mental, because like it just got too much for me at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a person that I was really just in this shit for the rap. You know what I'm saying? I love hip hop and all that stuff like that, and I just wanted to be a musician and stuff. And I think when that happened, it put me in this like box, and that was just from the other people putting me in the box, but it made me start putting myself in the box, and I had to like quickly break through. That's why the like next album after that was the Joy tape, because I had to find my own joy through this shit, because it was like I was not having fun with it after a while. You know what I'm saying? It was like every day I was like doing a different thing for a different brand and stuff, and like it was putting money on the table, which I was like so thankful for. Like I keep going back to gratitude, because it's like that shit is just the biggest reminder for me. It's like I gotta be thankful. Like this life is beautiful, like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that shit was like, it was almost like I was swimming against the current, because it was just like I keep on trying to tell people like, hey, I got more stuff over here, I got more music, but somebody's still gonna be like, I don't give a fuck, you got that, I just know you from that, I don't want to hear anything else. It's like, damn, bro. But my shit isn't for that person, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I had to remind myself. I'm like, well, fuck you if you don't want to listen to me, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just not going to do anything for my mental health if I'm over here like letting people put me in the box, and if I'm just going to sit in the box and just like wait
and accept it.
Right, you know.
I feel like it's a lot of so much of, I mean, being an artist in general, but also like being an artist now and like existing on the internet is like, it's a constant back and forth between like telling people who you are or what you want to do, and them telling you who you are and what they think you do.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And I think it's it's so difficult to, one, not care what people think, two, to like be assertive with like, actually, like, fuck you, or actually like, no, I don't want to do this thing because it's not what I really want to be doing. Or, like, I've already done this. I'm kind of, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think like it's again, we've known you for a while and have seen, the growth and the evolution and the changes and stuff. And I feel like I don't know, it comes across that you like feel better about the stuff that you're doing. You know what I mean? Like whether it's, again, just music related or even like event stuff now. Like you got some shit going on tomorrow.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm picking up my song. I'm ready. I'm coming.
What's up with that? I feel like, I can see the growth, and I'm just curious like how doing stuff that you're actually passionate about now feels,
Yeah, I mean, like, that's where I'm like thankful for it. Like, it was a difficult thing to like get that monkey off my back in a way, but it was like I realized it opened up so many doors for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that song is in a A24 film, and I wouldn't be going to Japan or be a fucking Sony ambassador because of it. And also I had to like get past the imposter syndrome of like, no, you're supposed to be here in these spaces and stuff like that. So it's like you got and when I was in those spaces, I was around influencers, and they were actual influencers. So I'm over here trying to be a better content creator and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, let me get my charisma, my riz up, you know what I'm saying? So, and it allows me to be a better like host for something at like Paramita, which is the rap karaoke, first of the hopefully it's a whole series, you know what I'm saying? But it's
first
like
at Paramita, like no one's
nobody's done it. Yeah, so I mean, I'm thankful for Dre to even consider me to do that stuff. Like, I'm glad that people, especially here, like I feel like Detroit is such a great foundation because like the people here super embrace me, and they know that I'm way more than just that, like influencer or something like that.
Well, you
like
were almost like hood famous here. Like you were doing like before Board in the House, before TikTok, you were doing Mopop and shit like that. So like I feel like as someone who knew you before the internet, I like and saw your face pop up on my screen one day. I was like, what the fuck? I think part of that like battle with fighting that imposter syndrome is reminding yourself that you had it before that, and you were doing really dope and impactful shit. Like, dude, my dad still like listens to Blossom.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like it comes on. I got it in his car randomly, and it like came on his shuffle.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Like, even more, like it makes me look back on the stuff that I've done, and I'm like, wow, like I've been out here, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad, you know what I'm saying?
What would you tell, like right now, because I think I met you when you were around probably 15, 16 years old maybe. What would you tell somebody 16 that is out there kind of struggling with this kind of, that space of the internet and real life, right? Because the internet is not real life.
Right.
But it's creating music and content. Like, what advice would you give somebody that's like, 16, 17, 18 years old right now out there?
I would say just keep on going. Like, keep on doing you. Like, don't worry about what other people got going. Don't look at the other person in the other lane. Just run your own race. Stay in that lane and keep on going. If it's a pebble in front of you or a whole hurdle, just fucking go through that motherfucker and don't stop. Like, because there's going to be somebody that's right behind you or is on the sideline hating on you or just not trying to see you win. So it's like you got to want to see yourself win, for one.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, just know that you got the power. Like, it's a mental thing, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because you've been selective with also, I'm sure, your partnerships, right? Like, I feel like you don't just take everything that comes across your email, right? So what is that like, being in that position to like be able to make those decisions? Like, how is your filter?
And which
for that?
brands do you dislike?
Yeah, tell us all the brands that you don't fuck
who
with.
You never work with.
No,
don't say that. Don't say that, because we might want them for this sponsorship opportunity.
I mean, like, honestly, I just try and be mindful. Like, it's so hard to even have that balance of like trying to get the moral side of things, and you on the, because it's like you don't know what every brand got going on. You don't know if that brand has like child labor or something like that or whatever. But it's like I don't know. It just gotta make sense for you. You know what I'm saying? Because like going back to my music, it's like I'm not no hood rapper, so I'm not gonna do anything where I'm like promoting drugs or guns and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Bro,
so
look, be gambling with Drake, bro. You could be gambling with Drake.
No, I'm not gonna gamble with Drake. But I'm just saying, if it makes sense for that person, go for it. But it's like also just like don't stretch yourself out thin or spread yourself thin, because it's like you can also burn out so fast. Like it's so easy to burn out fast. Tommy, what you want?
We good. Go ahead, keep going. Go
Tommy
ahead.
over here throwing up gang signs at everybody.
Because he's like, no, if you're not hood, then I'm hood.
Hey, Tommy, look up that we're gonna go longer than what we said. So just keep it moving.
But yeah, just what makes sense to you, like, and that's what your music too. Like, I feel like as an artist, you got to be true to yourself. Like you would look like a fool, or you gonna get exposed if you over here talking crazy, and then somebody over here like, no, nigga, you went to Cranbrook. Like,
but you could also just lie. Like, I think that's the thing that I try to tell people.
That is
I've been
art.
working with like a lot of creative directing artists right now. And
That's a great title, creative director. What do you direct? Creativity.
Creativity. That's it. Like I'm sitting down with a lot of artists in all stages of their career and talking about like what branding looks like.
Yeah.
And there are some people who like want that anonymous. I was like, so lie. Like create a personality. And I try to like, especially for the internet, none of it's real.
True.
And so you can be quite literally whoever you want to be, which is scary sometimes, but also freeing.
But I think there's
find that balance.
I think there's an
between it.
authenticity for people
good way to
that
look
people
at it.
definitely, I think, want to connect with like the real you.
Yeah.
Like you as Curtis Roach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like internet wise, they don't care if you're funny. Like they're not gonna be like, oh,
For
who
sure.
are you?
Yeah.
But I think more so like on a creative arc of a career path.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
There has
Like-
to be that personality. Behind it.
It's a balance too. Yeah, like I think I'm also an advocate of that, because you could be very creative. You could tell stories. I've had storytelling raps where it's like I'm talking about another person that is doing something that I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like yeah. But what were we talking about?
Yeah, I know it's distracting. We have a studio audience now. Normally we don't.
I mean, eating peanuts and shit over here.
That's trail mix.
Yeah, no, I think for us, you know, just having you on the show, part of our series here at the Hollywood Casino, you know what I mean, at Greektown, on the 28th floor, the Culture Suite, is that we're on our way. We're sending some artists to South by Southwest, right, music festival, and it's just having these conversations and wanting just to get to know artists better. So we're really grateful that you were able to stop by the suite. Let people know where they can find you, find your music, your art, whatever you want to promote. This is your moment.
You can find me on all platforms, Curtis 2 Trill, Curtis TOO Trill. I am working on music. I don't know when it's coming out. Can we take like 10 seconds of silence for all the people that are suffering in Palestine, Congo, Sudan, all the nations, Puerto Rico, Haiti, all that stuff, please? Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Well,
you
thank
were
you for
counting.
being such a great guest, bro. We appreciate you. We love you. And yeah, we we'll see you at South by Southwest.
Period.